The study that we've just finished uses the IPA Databank, which enables us to look at how inputs affect outputs in the sense of effectiveness. So essentially what we've done is we've looked at a sample of case studies that did use news brands media, both online and offline, and compared them with those that didn't, and we looked at patterns of effectiveness. Well, we're looking for three key findings areas in this study. We were looking to see how the use of news brands media generally influenced effectiveness, whether it boosted it or not. We were looking how news brands media in combination, on and offline, how that might in some way perhaps enhance the effectiveness picture that we saw. And then finally we were looking to see how news brands media can work alongside other channels, particularly TV, social media and other digital display channels. So we found some really impressive effectiveness uplifts across the range that we were looking at. So we did find that there was a very significant and very useful uplift to effectiveness simply from the use of news brands medium in whatever form. We also found that the multiplier effects between channels were working there, so the use of online and offline together was more effective than either in isolation. And then lastly, we found that news brands media work very powerfully alongside established traditional media. There are two really important outcomes from this study, I think, in a general sense. We are relentlessly told that traditional media, that established media, have no place in the modern world. And this study quite powerfully reminds us that traditional print medium have a really powerful role in effectiveness now and going forwards. The second thing we're also relentlessly told is that digital media somehow is a commodity. We trade digital media like pork bellies these days, and there is a perception out there that an impact on one medium is the same value as on any other. And this reminds us that not all digital media are born equal, that some have a greater contribution to make in effectiveness terms than others, that the value of content and the value of environment is still very important in advertising. So this study is a wake-up call to everyone who would believe everything they're told. We know digital can deliver some powerful effects, and those are useful, but it is not the be-all and end-all of effectiveness for the future, and that some combination of established traditional channels and digital is likely to be the best way forward for the foreseeable future. Effectiveness is increasingly complex in the modern world. There is also a great temptation to focus too much on short-term effects, and what we find in this study yet again is a reiteration of the importance of media that can deliver over the longer term. And of course, one of the great strengths of news brands media that comes out of this study is their ability to contribute to long-term effectiveness, which is the key driver of success in brands. So I would say to all media planners watching this is take away from this study the key lessons, not just about news brands effectiveness and how they work, but the broader lessons they teach us about effectiveness in general, because news brands' pattern of effectiveness very much coincide with the kinds of things we should be looking for if we're trying to deliver year-on-year success for brands, as opposed to those kind of quick win, hit and run kinds of campaigns that have become rather trendy and unwisely so. There are many ways in which traditional media are essential alongside digital, and that is not about to change. So I would suggest that this is a good example of how we are being overhyped, we're being oversold on a uniquely digital future, and actually we need to get real about this and take a broader view of what effectiveness means now.